So two plants that you might think are not in season here, the olive and the grape, that actually there are things I'm harvesting them for right now. And so they have more than one season, and that's interesting to know. Obviously these olives are way far from ripe and not even ready to cure. And these grapes would be really, really sour and astringent if I was to eat them right now. They're not even close to ready. All right, so two things that you can do, however. As a medicinal, olive is used similarly to the North American echinacea as an immune system stimulant. So you can make a decoction of it by boiling in water, or you can tincture it in alcohol and take it in basically the same way people take echinacea to prevent a cold. You can use the plant, and typically, I learned this in Greece, but typically it's the tips and the newer growth that's used and not the older growth. So you want the young tips of this. Now the grapes, I keep mentioning Greece, I am half Greek, half Irish. And what's the famous Greek thing to do with grape leaves?
Take off the leaves and roll them.
Dolmades, right?
What? Sorry, what was that?
Dolmades, stuffed grape leaves, okay? Now, I actually like to come out for those before they're setting grapes. Right now, the only leaves that would be tender enough would be these little tiny ones, which would be really a pain to try and stuff and roll. If you come out earlier in the spring before there's actually fruit on the plant, even the big leaves like this will be tender and good to use to make the stuffed grape leaves. Okay, but we're not done there. This unripe fruit that we've got here is used to make something called verjus, V-E-R-J-U-S, okay? Verjus is used in very gourmet cooking like vinegar. It's sour, super, super sour. And it's not just the juice from the unripe grapes, it's the fermented juice of the unripe grape. All right, and you do end up with this very sour, interesting tasting condiment somewhere between like lemon juice and vinegar, with a weird property that chefs really love, which is that vinegar tends to change the taste of wine. And if you're serving a really expensive wine and you have a salad with it, any vinegar on the salad is going to kind of mess with the taste of the wine. And for some reason, verjus doesn't do that. So at very expensive wine pairings, they prefer to use verjus because it's not going to mess with the taste of the wine. That's for your gourmet friends there. And last but not least, you can use the branches. This is big in Italy. Thrown on a fire the way people smoke things in cedar or in hickory smoke, or things to flavor like fish and stuff like that. Grapevine has a really interesting kind of earthy taste that is used in a lot of places to flavor food. So that's something you could do year round with it, even when there is no fruit.
Yeah, so one thing